You missed because you didn't act on it.
Amen.
How much more blessings would you have if you had acted on it? Not just for you, but as a result of it. I've told the story many times about when I was in high school and I was going to go to school at KU. And a Christian guy comes to me and said, I think you're supposed to go to school in California. To a Christian school, and I thought, this guy's lost his mind. And I didn't go. And years later, when I met my wife, I found out that school was like 3 blocks from her house. In California. I should have went then.
Yeah.
But I didn't go.
Amen.
Now, I don't think it's a coincidence that she lived that close to this campus. It was already there for me.
Amen.
It may not have happened a year later. It may not happen until 5 or 6. I don't know. But it would have happened a whole lot sooner.
Right.
It would have made things a whole heck of a lot easier. Amen?
Amen.
I never believed that a step parent should be a step down. In fact, in most cases, if the parents are getting together, a step parents are a step up.
Yes.
Amen? Because the man and the woman now can operate as one like they were supposed to.
Right.
So a step parent's really a step up. So anyone who has children who isn't married, don't worry. God's got that person picked out for you, and it's going to be a step up if you two are together. Amen?
Amen.
Because everyone can benefit from that.
Yes, that's good.
But if I had activated my faith instead of acting in my arrogance,
Amen.
things would be different today.
Right. Yes, Lord.
There's no coincidence with God. Too many of us live by faith by simply waiting on God. Let me tell you something, God's waiting on you.
Yes.
And He's getting tired of waiting. Because see, if He doesn't use you, He'll go on to somebody else.
Yeah.
His job's got to get done. Amen?
Amen.
Faith cometh, and it comes from Jesus that resides in you. So you have to activate Him.
Yes.
Faith is directly related to your belief in what Jesus can and can't do. How much will Jesus help me today? Will He help me today? Do I believe He's going to help me today? That's where your faith is at.
Yeah.
It's directly related to how much Jesus you have in you. Or should I say how much of it you activate in you.
That's it. Activate. That's a good word. Activate.
As I said earlier, you wouldn't call Him if you didn't believe in Him. No matter how tall the mountain is, it's not bigger than Jesus.
Amen.
It's not bigger than the one who created it. Amen? Let's go to Mark 11:23. Mark chapter 11 and verse 23. For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and it shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he has said shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Whosoever means everyone who asks receives, provided you qualify for an answer. What qualifies you is not doubting in your heart and believe. Don't say your mind's not going to doubt. Don't doubt in your heart. It doesn't say don't doubt in your mind. Because your mind can still be unconvinced.
Right.
Don't doubt in your heart.
Oh.
Your heart's where Christ lives. Don't doubt Him. Your mind is flesh. It follows whatever it knows the world system is. Your mind follows whatever the world system is. You're looking to buy a car. You know you got bad credit. Why bother looking? That's the world system telling you that.
Right.
God may have some wild, unusual blessing for you waiting in that car lot.
Yeah.
But you say, no, I can't get that car. I can't get any car. I got bad credit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about credit. People tell me all the time, if I just wait long enough, my credit score will go up. You think the credit fair is going to come down and raise your credit score?
No.
No. It's not. If you want your credit to get better, you're going to have to do something to make it better. Amen? You're going to have to get a secured credit card or try to get a small loan, but anything to make your credit better. It's not going to magically happen. We perish for lack of knowledge. We are in the world, but not of the world. We can't handle even the world system. Even the world system tears us in half. Speaking about credit, because I hear that all the time. Well, I'll just wait, and all the stuff will fall off magically. My credit score will magically raise up, and I'll get everything I want and buy that new house. No, it don't work like that. If you got a credit problem, you need to fix it. You can find, if you don't know how to do it, find out how to fix it. That's a big thing hampering people. If you don't have good credit, you are just stuck in old cars and old houses renting all the time. Christmas becomes a cash adventure because you got to save up all year long to be able to buy anything. Because you ain't got a credit card to go anywhere and buy nothing.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
If you do get a credit card, you got to use it up right away to pay bills with it. Credit's a big issue. But if you need to change it, go change it. Don't expect it to change by itself because it won't. But the world will tell you, you can't do this and you can't do that because of your credit. You can't do this because of your past. You're not smart enough to get this done. You're just what your father said you'd be, a loser. That's where doubt lives. In what you heard and you accepted in your own mind. You limited yourself because your own mind, when in your own mind, it allowed you to be limited. You can't change the past, but every time you let the past step in, the past just took over and controlled you. It's time to step out of the past. That's where doubt lives. Let's go to Mark 16. I don't want to take too much time. One more time now. It's a little chilly in here. The opening to the furnace downstairs is about this wide. As you can see, I'm slightly wider than that. Just a little. This week. Mark 16. We're going to start at verse number 1. This was very interesting to me, by the way. This was all revelation. Mark 16:1. When the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary Mary, the mother of James, and Salome had bought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him. These were precious spices that they bought. The kind that were talked about in 2 Kings chapter 4, where she had that expensive oil with Elijah. This oil was very expensive. Spices were very expensive. It's estimated that the amount it would take to anoint a body is worth about a year's worth of wages. So expensive oil. I'm going to read 16:1 again. And when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, and Salome had bought sweet spices that they might come and anoint. You're talking about Jesus. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came into the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. And they said among themselves, "Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the sepulchre?" They asked a question. Who's going to roll the stone away? Verse 4. And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. The tomb was sealed. The Romans were told that someone might steal the body to show that Christ had risen, so they sealed the tomb. They had some sort of seal of some type in those days, and they sealed the tomb. Whatever they used meant that stone was never going to be moved. And they used a huge stone. They didn't put no little tiny stone. They put the biggest stone they could find, and they sealed it. Now, a large stone, or one they call a great stone, would not have been moved by a few men. It would have took horses, mules, and men to move it. So it was a big stone. It could not be moved otherwise. There's a story where Jacob's over the well of the rock. It took 4 men, remember, and one was a woman. It took 4 men to move a little stone off a well. Imagine what this huge stone would have took. to put out of place where they placed it, and then they sealed it. But here comes these crazy women to anoint Jesus with his expensive oil. Did the fact that the great stone being in the way stop them? No. In verse 1 it says, they bought the expensive oil. So before they knew how they were going to get to Jesus,